Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent Readings. Thank you so much for joining me in today's special collaboration with myself and Daps Universal Tarot. And yeah, he's actually going to be in this reading in this very video. So one of us will be reading your pile for this video and the video that we have up on his channel. So if you're here, you are going to be receiving, I guess, information on people's first impressions of you. And in Daps Universal Tarot's channel, we're going to be presenting a reading on what the lasting impressions are of people who meet you. So exciting stuff. I have 4 piles for you to choose from. Which is, I think it's the first time on my channel where I have 4 piles. So pile 1 is going to be this Mystic Merlinite or Indigo Gabbro, or both, I think. Pile 2 is this Clear Quartz Point or Tower. Pile 3 is going to be this Lapis Lazuli. And then pile 4 is this Clear Quartz cluster. And so if you need some more time, go ahead and pause the video now so you could select your pile. And don't forget to check out Daps Universal's channel, where we have the next part of this reading. And might as well like and subscribe while you're there. Might as well. I'm sure you'll love his energy. He's very vibrant and really a joy to watch and work with. So yeah, one of us will see you at your reading. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the Lapis Lazuli, this is going to be your reading on what are people's first impressions of you. And you know, if you missed or skipped the intro, this is a collaboration between myself and Daps Universal Tarot. So don't forget to check out his part of the reading. I mean, he's in this video, but where we look into the lasting impressions just to see how these readings connect. Because straight away I'm looking and I see a connection between potentially this and that reading. And I'll just say I didn't choose this Lapis Lazuli after I chose the cards, but the cards kind of just match. And I say that because this first oracle is Authentic Voice and Aquamarine with the number 17, and I associate Lapis Lazuli with the throat chakra. So maybe the first impression was the sound of your voice, but probably the strength. I don't know if you have a loud voice or just you speak with intensity and with purpose. It's a very deliberate, articulate thought, articulate speaking, because we have the strength card. Maybe you are a Leo, or you give off Leo energy, and you're very big. This is big energy. This is so I'll say the first impression is that you're noticed. You can't really hide. I mean, even if you were in a get-together or the back of the bar or something like that, you'll be seen. People will see you. And I think on a personal level for you, you've probably noticed and started adopting that that strength, like really tapping into it, really accepting that there's really no point in hiding, because you can't. You're a lion. Like it's not gonna happen. But let's get some more tarot. Let's see some of the first impressions that you give. But we have the 4 of Wands. So Venus and Aries, and I'm already noticing that too. This balance of water and fire. So Venus, Aries, the authentic voice. It's just a blue card, so I'm noticing that there's a hint for the more intuitive person who just meets you that there are more than one side to you, but not everyone's gonna notice that straight away. It's just some people will, but you give off a very prideful energy without being overly I can't pick this up. The World. Six of Wands. And I should always just say what's here, because I saw the Four of Wands. It's like, it reminds me of Six of Wands, that prideful, energy without being so much so, and then it shows up. So you have Four of Wands, the World, and that's the back of the card. Six of Wands. Strong leadership, strong security within yourself, strong... this is big energy, and you have a lot of fire, because we have the Four of Wands, Six of Wands, and not only that, but they're even numbers, 22, 4, 6, that inherent balance that you have, I think is, it's kind of like a paradox for some people, at least as a first impression, is that, there's a lot of strength, there's a lot of fire, there's, it's bold energy, but at the same time, it's approachable, which could be, hard to come by, I guess, nowadays. Or I could also say, they might notice that you might be psychic, or that you might be emotionally intelligent, or still, you won't overshadow people deliberately anyway. You might not be able to help it, but you're aware of your own energy and how that energy impacts other people. Let's see. In the Page of Swords. Let's clarify all of these cards. So if you saw me in the other reading on Daps Channel, where I did lasting impressions, I only pulled 4 tarot, but I'm going to do 8 for this one. Just because, and I chose this deck deliberately. We have the Sun, showed up in another reading, but it's like, there's a lot of colors, it's intense, but there isn't a solid image, in the other reading, it's like the colors form something a bit more clear, so that clarity comes with time. This is, again, like first impression, but I just want to look at what's underneath the surface. And we have the Nine of Cups, the Six of Cups. Sorry, I don't know where the video and audio cut off, but the last thing I remember is saying that the Emperor and the Strength card go together, and I think you just have a very powerful presence. Again, you come across as someone who is disciplined, and you value your own presence. So it's like almost like a movie star energy. Like, do I know you from somewhere? Are you in a thing that I should know about? Because you really give that off, that energy. And the Ace of Cups under the Page of Swords, you have big, bold ideas that people aren't ready for. You come across as someone who wants to take over the world in a positive way, but it's like, everyone will know my voice, they'll recognize me, they'll sing along to what I have to sing, and even the Six of Cups energy gives that off, is that you have so much energy that you have more than enough to give to others, and that's something that people notice straight away about you, is that, wow, someone's not focusing today, what's that about? Okay. Yeah, you're like a fountain of energy, so much energy, and I think they'll know that you're there to bring big changes in their life and in your life. Like, you're not one to let things happen or go with the flow. You don't have that, at least at a first impression. You don't give off that energy of oh, just go with it, or just it is what it is, or there's nothing you could do about it. You're at least initially you come across as the person who's like, if it doesn't work the first time, or if it's not meant to be, you'll have the last say. So if it's like, for example, a relationship, if someone met you for the first time, you're in a relationship that they thought was toxic, and they're trying to talk you out of it, you're like, no, I'm not gonna listen to you, because you don't know, you have no idea what's going on. So very stubborn in that way. But also when you make that choice to, so for example, leave that relationship, I'm just noticing that because the Ace of Cups and Page of Swords, but if you decide to do or make any kind of decision, you do not second guess. And I think that's something people pick up on straight away, is you're very confident in your decision making. You're very confident in what you feel you need to do, and not only for yourself but for people around you. So it's intense. It's an intense energy. But then we have Six of Cups, Nine of Cups, and Ace of Cups at the bottom, kind of naturally, as I said in the beginning, balancing off the fire and water energy. So you could have those placements in your chart that are very strong. But it's kind of like the ocean, where if you go in the morning, it's very still. You go in the afternoon, it's very wavy and filled with seaweeds, and then you go later and there's like a sandbar. Like it does fluctuate. You do fluctuate, but over time, potentially, they recognize the patterns, and it's not so chaotic, which it might seem at first. So I think I'm going to leave the reading there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to check out Daps reading on his channel. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.
What up, pal number 2? Welcome to your reading. Oh, first things first. Nice to meet you. I'm Dap. If we haven't met before, you may or may not have seen me on a little tarot channel, little pick a card channel called Dap Universal Tarot. Yeah, just a chill little. I am an intuitive tarot reader over there. Basically, we pretty much just stick to tarot. I do like a lot of mixing of the astrology and tarot together. I kind of like them both. But something about the cards really resonate with me. I love astrology, but like something about the symbolism, just like having something to hold and look at and like connect with, it really works for me. So I'm like all day tarot over there. Like I go live every day for live readings. If you like to get more personal readings, I do that every day just for donations, no set amount. And also to meet new people. It's fun. So usually I go once a day, sometimes twice, but you can catch me over there. But I was invited here today to kind of help us figure out how are we initially leaving people when we first meet them. Like how do we, what kind of taste do they have in their mouth when we that's a bad way to put it, when we're done. What's the first impression? Like how do you rub people? Like what are they assuming about you? I'm keeping it quite simple, but I'm also keeping it quite open. I found that works best, but when I'm doing these personality type readings, or like say I'm trying to connect to you as the person watching this, I do like to kind of sit with the cards for a second for the piles. So all the cards are pulled except for clarifiers, just so I can kind of sit with it. And what I've gotten so far is that I think that you are one, very blessed people. Very blessed and abundant people. You may actually you may actually think of yourself as quite spiritual. You could even like actually work in some kind of healing profession, whether it's like say scientific or medical, like a nurse or whatever, or even like a straight up like tarot reader, healer, witch, whatever. There's something about you are very much a helpful energy. I keep getting the number 6 all through your reading as well. So you could be like a Virgo, you could be moon ruled especially. like say if you have say Cancer rising, or you could be a Cancer yourself. I do see Gemini energy, Virgo energy. You can have any of those placements, and Taurus heavy. But I think the way emotionally when you come across the people, they see you as a very optimistic person. So you could also be Sagittarius. I can see that too. But it's not braggy. It's a very weird energy of like saying you kind of hold your head up pretty high, like you know who you are and you're very confident in yourself, but you don't ever come across as like trying to flex. It's not like that. It's like it's effortless for you, and it doesn't mean that you have a lot or like materialistically. It's like saying that that you have more than you need or just enough. Either way, it's like you're happy as hell about it. But the card that kind of sums you up, what we pulled out the Oracle deck, I did start with this Moon card because if you watch, it's a timeless reading, but if you're watching it today, it is a full moon in Sagittarius. So this is kind of special. You actually pulled first quarter moon in Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. And the Four of Swords. So this to me gives me like this feeling of I think you naturally manifest things for yourself because your baseline is like this energy of I'm not worried about it. Even if I have 2 nickels in my pocket and a fuzz ball of lint, I'm not worried about it. I think something's gonna happen. It's like you don't really allow yourself to get too stressed out about things that you can't control, and that's a blessing. Because the Four of Swords is an energy of like at peace, calm, it's resting, and something about this lamb and the sun that's like right, and it's like it's guided. It's like saying like it's almost like you can either communicate with your guides or like you feel a sense of comfort whenever you kind of like take yourself to that place of meditation. Maybe even if it's not like literal meditation, you may just feel at ease, and you may not maybe put words to it. So it depends on how far along you are in your spiritual journey. I think a lot of people watching this would be like, oh, those are my guides. Yeah, they call me down all the time. It took me a while to figure out that I was a medium, even though I was actively to the point talking to my ancestors, like literally talking to my ancestors, and I'm like, mediumship sounds scary until someone pointed out like, but you're talking to your dead ancestors, so like, what do you think you're doing? It didn't feel scary, so it was hard for me to even like recognize it. So it's like I think a lot of us out here we naturally go towards our gifts and use our gifts, but we don't know that we're using them. So you could be like that person, and you could be more conscious about it, but either way, there's something out there looking out for you. Now, the shadow side, like, okay, so if you rub people the wrong way, or if you're dealing with a negative Nancy, like somebody who's naturally gonna go towards like, okay, let me see what's wrong with them first, and there are people like that. Some people see the world half empty, the glass half empty. Some people see it half full, and it's just a perspective. But I thought it was important to at least touch on that because it would be unrealistic if we didn't. You did pull the Empress in reverse, and then you have this number 15 card out, the Shadow Oracle, and it's Masquerade. What I'm getting is remember when I said you kind of give off this easy breezy, like everything's fine, I'm not worried, cool. Even it's like some people feel like that person is just freaking out on the inside. I can tell. Like they're trying to come across like everything is just fine and dandy. It's just a show. They're just a wreck or something like that. And that could be true. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of relate to that myself. Like, like my world could be falling apart, but like, we're gonna find something to smile about, or like to focus on if it's not anything I can do about it. But some people feel like you may be the type to put on a certain mask that you are just so much better than you are. Just, I'm so good, so fine, and a forced smile or something like that. And like I said, sometimes it could really be true. But you do have the Wheel of Fortune. Some people also try to figure out what it is about you that they can't put their finger, like, so if you are like, say, a manifestor, if you are somebody who just attracts what they need when they need it at the right time, you can be like in a bad situation or a bad spot, and then like the next time they see you, you're like, oh, we're better than good, like everything just fell into place. I don't know, I'm just blessed. And who doesn't love that? When that happens, if that happens, it's like, thank God. But it's like saying, I think that people try to figure out why or how. It's like they try to put logic to it instead of just accepting, like, it's your business for one, but like accepting the fact that maybe you just highly favored, pile number 2, you know? And heavy on the Sagittarius energy. Lucky is what I'm getting. It's not a jealousy feeling though. It's more so like, because it's a first impression, it's like, how do they do that? It's almost impressive. It just makes people interested. It makes people interested. It can make the wrong type of person kind of want to investigate a little too much, or like, you know, put too much energy into it. But like, for the most part, it's not jealousy. It's just huh. Now, who you are, like, say how they perceive you, just like out there in these streets, just like, you know, it's Gemini energy with this Lover's card in reverse. But the thing about it is, you seem detached. It's like you're not mean and you're not necessarily standoffish so much. It's just that you can, it's this weird energy of like, you can do the most for somebody. If someone is in need, whether you know them or not, or whatever, it's like you will give everything that you have or can give, if you feel like it, if you're in the position to, or like right place, right time, you know, it's like, catch me. But like, you will actually go above and beyond for a person that you don't even know, ask for nothing in return, by the way. And then at the same time, not really trying to create this connection that's long term. It's like you will help somebody or do a really good deed, go above and beyond, damn near heal this person, and go on about your business and don't call me, please. No, I don't give out my number. It's like kind of shit. There's a level of detachment about it, and that throws people off as well. Clarifying that is the Hierophant in reverse. It's like some people may also find that you may not. Some people, like, say, who aren't new, the impression that you give them is that you don't value them as much sometimes, or like that they look like, people have a tendency of thinking that you don't like them as much as they like you, or that you aren't as interested in a connection or a relationship or a friendship or whatever than they are. It's like you make people feel like they just chasing you or something, even if they're not really chasing you. It's like you make people feel like you don't seem to be bothered whether they're in their life or in your life or not a lot of times. So it's like maybe you have a hard time showing affection in like that kind of way. Maybe show affection through like, say, sticking to your word or being on time, whatever it is. Like, people have different ways of you know, speaking their love. But I do feel that you make people want more of you because you kind of hold back. You know, you don't spread yourself too thin, you know. You know when to pop in and pop out. You don't overstay your welcome. It's like you always leave them one more. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse too. They also kind of feel like some people don't even approach you because it's not that you are unapproachable. It's this energy of like, they feel that there's nothing they can offer you, or there's nothing that they can do to hold your attention. So it's like, why would I even try that person? Nah, I'm staying in my lane, kind of thing. And it's like, and you may not even think that at all. You could actually be like a really good, you know, pairing, like, or a partnership or whatever it is. But it's like, you intimidate people, and I don't think you even notice it. So it's not even a thing for you. But like, I think there are a lot of people who would be interested in you, or find you interesting enough or drawn to you, but they would hold themselves back for longer than they should, because they may think that something about your energy makes them feel less than. They see you as abundant as hell out here, okay? But the positive thing though, you always surprise them. The Moon card is the last card that comes up in the tarot. It's like it's like when you're needed, when your presence is needed, when they are thinking about you, and it's like, it's not like I want to talk to them, or I want to no, like, when you establish a connection with this person, it's like, even if you're not always there, it's like the moment they just really need you, you may pick up the phone and call. You may send a text, you may send like a funny meme or something. It's like something happens and you connected. You may say the right thing at the right time, and it's like, it keeps them hooked. I think people really do find your first impressions to be very mysterious and interesting. And people love that energy. People love something they can't figure out. People love something they can't put a label on, and people love something that is contradicting. And I think that you kind of contradict, like what they think you are, like, all the time. It's like they can never figure out. You keep people on their toes. And there's something very mystical about you. The The Daughter of Pentacles comes up in reverse. You're not very practical minded in the sense of like, you do things that just don't make sense to people. I'm sorry. You do shit that just don't make no sense to nobody but you. And it's like, and at this point, at this, stage in the game, it's like, you really don't care what they understand or what they don't understand. It works for you. So keep doing you, boo. I hope this resonated. Sound off in the comments if it did. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you hopefully again one day soon. And I say this after every reading on my side, so I'm gonna say it here. If you got scared, what spirit got you? Blessings and all we do. Bye. Na-na-ba-na-na. What up, pal number 3, and welcome to your reading. Hey, I'm Dap. If you haven't seen me before, I'm a guest here. I'm Dap. I actually run a little tarot YouTube channel, called Dap Universal Tarot. So I do pick a cards all day long. I go live every day. It's just a different vibe. I'm an Aquarius. I'm gonna do me in the weirdest way. But let's get into why we came here, right? We're looking into what are people's first impressions about you? How do you initially, touch people when you meet? What flavors are lingering in that's crazy. What flavors are lingering in their mouths when you leave? That sounds bad. Okay, you know what I mean. Like how do you affect these people initially? Because they do say first impressions are the most important. So like I don't think that the first impression is the only impression. I think if you think about all the people that you've met and like say and had a connection with for like a while, however long, it's like your initial perceptions of them are probably very different than how you think of them now, right? Like, so it's okay. But it is good to kind of know how you're coming off just for self-awareness. But I already pulled the cards because like I was telling Pal too, I like to kind of sit in the energy when I'm doing these personality type readings, like, based on like the actual viewer. But I picked up on a lot of Pisces energy, heavy. A lot of Pisces energy. You could be like a Pisces moon especially, where I have like a couple placements in your astrology chart in the 12th house. Oh yeah, I'm big on astrology. I'm gonna do this every time. But in the 12th house, also Aquarius energy, Capricorn. Leo energy comes up, but mainly like things that may be in the 5th house. So that would be a person who's very creative, a person who is very easy breezy, likes to kind of like, perform. You may actually really shine when you're acting or like being funny or doing music or something like that. Also, Taurus energy comes up as well. So it's like, it's a heavy emphasis on Venus, being Venus oriented. You're beautiful. You are romantic, but we're going to get into that in a second because there's something about that keeps pinging at me. But you are a good time. You're good. I think people experience you as a good time. And sometimes maybe not in the best of ways, but your overall energy gives this. Talk less, feel more. You all about an experience. You don't give, like, you can't just be simple about something. You give a whole vibe. It's like you don't people know what you're trying to give. It's like I don't think people misunderstand you too often. It's like they know your intentions. I didn't mean to pull 2 of these moon cards, but they both come out, and I kept it because they're both Pisces cards. And today is a full moon. If you're watching this around the time it's posted, it's a full moon. So here you go. It says full moon in Pisces. Forgive, talk less, feel more. So I think the forgive card may be just something as a side note for somebody watching this. Let that shit go. Let that shit go. They're not losing any sleep. And I know it's real cliche to say that forgiveness is for you and not for them, but it is, because if you think about it, if you hold on to stuff like willingly, like holding a grudge, can't get over it, but even if you're not talking to that person, I think it's the worst thing that people don't really acknowledge too much is that it affects the new people that you bring into your life. It affects the people who have nothing to do with whatever that other person did, because you are subconsciously projecting that hurt and that basically punishing that new person for what that old person did. Like it's like when we hold on to stuff, it's like and we foster these trust issues and like these traumas. It's like it's hard not to just believe that that's how the world is or that's how people are, and we end up projecting that on the people who don't even have those intentions, you know. And it's a situation where like, oh well, I've been hurt before, and it's like we've all been hurt, but let that shit go. Side note, moving on. All right, so first impressions. I think you also could be very much like an Aquarius type of energy. Like, don't get me wrong, you're very much into like the feels of it all. You are connected with the emotions. I think you're very much an empath. You kind of absorb people's energy and understand it, but more importantly, and I think this is on more of a subconscious level, I think you project out your energy. So it's like if you're in a really good mood, like a really, really good mood, you can walk into a room and not say anything at all, and people just kind of feel better. But that works the same way on the flip side. Like if you walk into a room and like, you know, you're not having the best day, it's like if you're angry, people may just start getting mad. It's like you can work a room, pal number 3. You can work the hell out of a room. And I think that's a gift that you may underestimate in yourself, or maybe not even notice for real. But pay attention. Pay attention to how not just people who are just around you, but everybody kind of just is. What's the vibe of the room when you're in a certain mood? Like, peep it, because I think you really can set a tone. Especially if you get to a place first. If you get to a place first and you're on your own energy, they come in and guess what? They're falling into your energy. Like you set the tone. So maybe maybe just food for thought. Be early a lot of times. I think it may help you out. Get there first before other people. I think it may help you out. But anyway, the negative sides to you. Because like, you know, I say that people don't really misconstrue you, but everyone has like, everybody can be everyone can be misinterpreted or like misunderstood in a sense. So like people who are looking for flaws when they first meet you, like what would they kind of think? The 8 of Cups with this card, Sacrifice. Oh, I get it. It can go two ways, but how I'm mainly getting it is like you give off vibes that you know so much about what you really want. I don't think you're very shy about what you want. I don't think you're selfish, but I think you are very much let's go kind of thing. Like you're pretty on the nose and to the point, where people feel like they have to, that you expect them to sacrifice themselves or not value what they want to do or how they feel, and they may fall into this energy quite naturally. I think you're a natural born leader with this King of Swords, with the Father of Swords sitting here. Like people respect you automatically, just give off this aura about you. This is like you will respect it. You don't gotta demand it or ask for it. This is what it is. And so some people may automatically put themselves on the back burner and like put what they want second because this person's a king or a queen. Like how could I not? It's like, and even if that's not even your intention. So and then the sick part is people who are less aware about that energy, and that's not even your intentions, they may hold that against you. Like you actually said those words like, no, whatever you want, what you want doesn't matter. It's like you actually like said this to them or something. It's like this is a perception that they hold on their own type of shit. So they may end up not liking you or like kind of resentful about how you made them feel, even though they just, that's some shit that they just did, you know? I don't know. People are a lot less self-aware than you may give them credit for. I think people are aware of other people, but being self-aware and how we are coming off, like a lot of times people are just like, doo-doo, don't see it, like in the dark. It's scary. But I think generally though, just how you come off is this energy of the devil. Now, before, hear me out. I know. The devil? They think I'm the fucking devil. No. Not like that. I think the devil card is really fun sometimes. That's why I was also getting a lot of 5th house energy, which kind of gives me playful energy. The devil can be playful. Like, if you look at a different tarot deck, right? It's normally the Baphomet sitting there with the, you know, like that goat man. It looks kind of creepy. How can you really be afraid of this? Like, it almost like you want to, like, it doesn't look scary to me. It's not that. It feels like he would have a good time. He looks funny. He looks like he would tell you a couple of jokes. Like, I think he can talk. I would say this goat can talk. My point is, I'm not looking at the devil card in like a bad way. I'm looking at it in a more so, let's just do fun shit. Like, don't worry about it. Live a little. Like, you could definitely be like Scorpio energies, Leo energies. Because remember when I said that people see you as a good time? People may also see you as a good time. Some people may want to see you as a conquest, and other people may just see you as a slut. How dare they be comfortable in their sexuality? I think you are very comfortable in your sexuality. Y'all may be freaks, not closet freaks. Some of y'all may be closet freaks, but mostly just freaks. Outward freaks, freaky, whatever. Like you have a healthy sexual identity, and that's nothing wrong with that. I feel like we demonize sex a lot in our culture, and there's a reason for that. But I'm not getting into that. But like it's control. But I don't think something so natural as our sexuality should be anything less than praised and celebrated. You know, they may think you celebrated a lot. You know, they may think you celebrating your ass off, but like no, they do see you as a good time. The Eight of Swords, though, they also find you to be a little bit like maybe not serious, or like not someone who's could be like held down. You know, like you're a free spirit. They don't even try that shit with you for real. I think people like on a romantic level may feel like they'll get their heart broken by you, even if that's not even the intention or the case. They feel like there's something about your energy. It's just like, oh my God, you're gonna ruin me. You're gonna break my heart. And also, I think you're very attractive. I think your looks kind of speak to that too. There's something about like, look at her. She is in a full like blown armor, like, but look at her face. Look how beautiful she is, even in all of that stuff. I really do feel like there's something very visually appealing about you, and that may be another reason as to why people are like more likely to fall into that. Let me serve you. Like, what do you want? Like, I don't need anything. Like, I'm following your lead, kind of thing. People just do that with you. And always, you surprise people. I think I said this about pile number 2, but you surprise people because it's always something new for you. You never really just stagnant. Even when you feel that you are stagnant or you're not evolving or growing as much as you are, people see you as fresh ass. Like you are like a breath of fresh air. When people first meet you, your energy is like, oh my God, it's like electric, or it's like it buzzes. It feels like taking a shot of something. Like it's nice to be in your energy. It's new for people sometimes when they meet you. Like they never felt any energy like that before. It's very, I don't know, it gives me like Scorpio vibes, like I don't know, Uranus energy, Pluto. It's like a shock, but it's a good shock. And then we have the sun on the bottom. Okay, yeah, it's that. It's all of that. It's all of that. The sun card is like you make people somehow forget whatever their problems are and just completely focus on whatever you're doing with them. Whether you can be like doing arts and you can be making, I don't know, scrapbooking or something, and like they can be so immersed in it with you because you're so immersed in it that they have such a good time, and it's refreshing. It's really refreshing. You bring out joy in people is what I'm trying to say. You bring out unbridled joy in people when they feel comfortable enough to let themselves there. But I think people warm up to you quite easy. You're not a hard person to warm up to. Death. You could very much be Scorpios. Very well be Scorpios. Like I said, I think I said Leo, Taurus. Also seen Aquarius and Pisces. Yeah. Heavy on the Scorpio energy though. You may have like a lot of 8th house placements or something. Maybe a Scorpio moon or something. Maybe like a double Scorpio, like rising in moon or something. It's a lot of Scorpio placements. It's heavy. But and something about the number 8. The number 8 keeps coming up as well, and 8 is a number of, well, the 8th house was rules Scorpio, but other than that, it's about abundance from doing the work. It's like 8s in numerology is all about achievements. And when you see multiple 8s, like you see 888, this is for somebody. If you've been saying 888 or repeating 8s, that is a sign that something very good is coming for you because of your hard work. It's abundance, baby. 88 is abundance, manifestation. Here it is. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy birthday. That's all I got. Nice to meet you. I'm going to leave you with this. Yeah, sound off in the comments and let me know how this resonated with you. Let us know how this resonated with you. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And until next time when we meet, wherever that is, if you got spirit, what spirit got you? Blessings and all we do. Bye.
Hi, pile 4. If you chose this clear quartz cluster, this is going to be your reading. And again, if you missed the introduction, this This is a collaboration between myself and Dap Universal Tarot. So be sure to check out his channel and his portion of the reading, which is lasting impressions, and subscribe and like while you're there, because he's fun. So I have 3 oracle cards already out, and it's interesting that you chose the clear quartz, because one of these oracle cards is with Ascended Master Serapis Bay clear calcite. It says karmic grace. So I think some of the first impressions is that you bring a sense of clarity, and then with the cycles card, Ouroboros, I think at least for the psychics, or those who have that level of awareness, they might see you as someone from a past life, like straight away. That they'll get that sense from it of and then we have integrity with the compass. So there's a lot of this clear energy, this direction that you're bringing forth. You feel very karmic in nature, and in a lot of ways you would be a mirror that reflects the energy that they're bringing out into the world, and sometimes that can be kind of difficult to deal with, but you come across as someone who's wise, I was going to say mystical and mysterious at the same time, so probably both. So let's look at the tarot. These really want to come out. Maybe you want to bring something out of people, and maybe they aren't ready for it. We have the 8 of Swords. Okay, so kind of getting people out of their cycles, getting them unstuck. That's kind of, it's interesting because from their perspective, it would be a mixed bag of who's aware of this and who's not. You know, they might see themselves in a stuck situation, and you kind of reflect different possibilities of getting out that they might not have seen. So in a lot of ways, similar to pile 1, but I think the way you go about it is a little different in that you present a lot of options, you present a lot of roads, and this is just by perspective. I think you're almost like a flashlight in a way. I don't know if did I show you the 8 of Swords? Let's show it to you. You're someone who kind of unbinds people and takes the glass prison, if you will, away from them. So you're kind of like this light of consciousness. And this is just the first impression. You have the Lovers. So this ties directly to what I was saying about someone's not focusing today. Come on. Of being a reflection. So this is potentially twin flame energy, or at least, if not twin flame energy, at least what do you call it, soul family, that sort of and of course this isn't going to be for everyone, but I think you might be able to connect with a lot of different groups of people, and so they might at a first impression see you as soul family straight away. That's just the vibe that you give. And then we have the 5 of Cups, so we're going to clarify these cards, but I think this could point to being honest about what's missing in their lives, like what's driving people to feel stuck, and it's usually, at least in this situation with your presence, is that the 8 of Swords has an emotional backing to it, has an emotional prison, but the prison is created by unsatisfaction, and I think you really are a light, at least, you know, at first, as a first impression, just because you remind people of what can be, that there's still infinite possibility. It's like, just because you're living in a place where there's not that much sunshine, or it's always cold, it doesn't mean that warmth doesn't exist elsewhere. And so I think you get people to get traveling, to dream big with the star. I think the star was in the first reading, but I forgot. But shining that light, show these two, because these seem very similar. There's like this crystal child energy that you have, crystalline structure, very advanced. You come across as an advanced being, but you're also grounded in connecting with people who might not see themselves in the same way. Like they might put you on a pedestal to some degree, to some extent. And that could just be from the conversations that you have. Like if you end up having spiritual conversations straight away, they'll know that you're not playing around, that this wisdom comes from experience and from a deep place. But at the same time, you share that home, that seat of knowledge. It's kind of like you're both electrons or photons from the sun, but you're recognizing each other as, I know this is a little deep, but as equals, but maybe not on the same, maybe just at different angles. And so you kind of remind them of their own light and their own potential and their own place in the universe, really. So, and for some of you, this is again, just because the Cycles card is there, 8 of Swords, you don't stay for that long. We have the 4 of Cups. I think you help people see what they can't see, to look within themselves and really create the ideal environment for themselves. I think you have a very empowering energy, and it's interesting because we have the Lovers, and then we have the Empress and the Emperor. So that's pretty cool. So that could be taken a few ways, of course, depending. This is general reading, but I had mentioned twin flames. Could be. I mean, that's only for one person, though. So that's you'll have to let me know in the comments how that resonates. But when I say twin flame, and I'm not saying soulmate, I'm saying twin flame just because of the reflection there. That like these beings share a soul. It's like equal and opposite in a way. And I had mentioned the sun, that there's something about, and it's becoming clear now, something about you both. I mean, depending on your belief systems, like everyone comes from the sun, but I think there's this recognition that it just feels like soul family. It just feels like being of the same frequency, of the same light. And you're a breath of fresh air to these people. We do have the Hermit, so I think in a way you almost force people, or at least invite people that you just met to really connect with their inner self, with their inner being, so that they can create their reality. With the Star and the Empress here, a very strong creative force, and it just seems like through being in your presence and seeing how you work and seeing what you have, and it just seems like you make things happen out of luck. But I think you also, either directly or indirectly, teach them that it's available to everyone. Everyone has the same potential, the same resources. Well, not exactly, but as part of an infinite resource that it's really like if you were to have a dream and it's a nightmare, and at some point maybe some people will become lucid and really quickly turn the tides of what seems like is reality until you realize, wait a minute, it's not. And then in an instant you could completely rewrite everything about the dream. It could be intense. I say that also because of the Hermit card, the star, and there's that clarity. So I wouldn't be surprised if those topics come up, those deep spiritual topics come up, just because I'm actually thinking of someone specific that you meet for the first time and you could immediately go very deep in conversation, and at the same time, if you're feeling you're in a rut or you're feeling high energy or something, they just magically seem to match you. And I think that's just an indication of in my case, like, me and this person are really on the same boat, if you will, and I think you come across as that person who just matches, at least in the moment in which you meet these people or this person or whatever, is that you match them. And I think, that's really important, just because you could see how they're reacting to the world and use that to better your situation just by having a different view, and it's kind of like, I don't know, seeing the puzzle from or finding new pieces to the puzzle. And the same goes for the person that you're meeting. You just come across as very important and integral. Whether or not you stay in their lives, it depends, obviously, but I think in a way they'll always have some sort of memory or imprint of you in their reality once you leave their life. So whether or not they recognize that is something else entirely, but that just depends on where they are in their journey and the level of awareness that they possess. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap the reading up here. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and don't forget to check out I'm on that video too, so we're both on both videos, on both readings, but the follow-up to this is the lasting impressions. So if you want to check out how those two connect, I think we'd both be very interested. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.